back to the More to Us podcast. Let me get that applause. Welcome back to the More to Us podcast.
Let's go, baby.
Here to talk about. Matter of fact, I'm going to address this up front. You're probably wondering why it took so long to make this video. First of all, the Super Bowl left a deep scar,
Gaping
on
hole.
the hearts of Eagles fans. We'll address the Super Bowl. We're here to talk Philly today, baby. The Eagles, not to be confused with any other Philly team. But I think we should start with the Super Bowl. Just get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's get into it. Fucking Super Bowl.
The cluster.
So there's a reason probably out of our first 20 videos, 5 of them were Eagles videos. Because we're big Eagles fans. And the Eagles are a great team right now. They made it all the way to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure we predicted that multiple times. We saw the Super Bowl team in person, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go check out our video when we went to Indy. Eagles versus Colts. But yeah, man, the Super Bowl. I mean, at halftime, I remember watching the game, and I told you and your brother, like, we're dominating the game, yet somehow it was like a 7-point game or a 10-point game. It was a close game still, and it had no business being a close game. If you look at the stats, the overall breakdown of the stats, we dominated in pretty much every statistical category. I can't tell you how much pain I was in after that, man.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking for me to become a fan, watch us get to the Super Bowl and then lose, especially in such a BS fashion.
At the end,
it happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
like, there was bad calls. Our players were seemingly slipping every play, and it was not an issue for Kansas City. I'm not saying there was foul play there, but I am saying it is a little ironic that throughout the game we were noting, we were saying, like, hey, like Hassan Reddick, he was trying to get around the edge.
Dude, we didn't have a single sack.
Which is something
the team who led the league in sacks. They almost I think they're 1 sack away from either tying or breaking the single season sack record for a team.
So yeah, it definitely it was for sure a
fucking the sod father, bro. The grass that they had prepped it for like 10 years. Okay,
right.
Good job.
So it left a scar.
Hey, sod father. That's what we think.
Cause it just, there were so many, like the Devontae Smith catch, the horrible defensive holding at the end.
How about the remember the false start that the Kansas City Chiefs defense called? And then the following play,
don't want to talk
Hurts'
about
only
that.
mistake of the game.
Yeah.
Scoop and score, going the other way.
And it seemed like every time we were building momentum, there was a call or an overturned play or something of that fashion that was holding us back. And it was frustrating from a fan perspective because it felt like in the most important game of the season, you have the referees seemingly making a huge impact, which I'm totally against. You kind of have to let the game go, especially in these bigger games. You really got to give them a little bit more leeway and stuff like that. And then at the end to call even Juju Smith wasn't calling for it.
And Juju, the biggest crybaby.
Juju himself.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Football.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
TikTok, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Definitely was not a happy day
for
us.
The audacity of Juju. To remember that meme, the Valentine's Day meme for Bradbury? Something about, like, I don't remember. Something about holding. Like, I'll hold you when it matters. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So, yeah. That's our thoughts on the Super Bowl.
Jalen Hurts should have won MVP regardless. That was the best performance other than Tom Brady's performance against the Falcons that I've ever seen.
Especially when he outplays Patty Mahomes the way he does. He outperformed him. I argue with us about it in the comment section. We're not commenting back. We saw the game. We know how it went. Say what you will.
If I showed you the stats of the entire game, player stats included, without showing you the score, you would have thought the Eagles would have won that game, I don't know, 35-20?
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, so it only took us 4 or 5 months to mourn that loss. I still feel the gaping hole in my heart, but we're trying to move on here.
The Super Bowl championship ring.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. We'll be
So,
back.
You know, that's leading into our next topic of discussion. Philly next year.
Who's going to take him down?
Yeah, I mean, brought back Big Play Slay.
Big time.
Brought back Fletcher Cox. I think Brandon Graham was still on contract.
I can't remember because we brought him back last year. I can't remember if it was a 1 year or not. He's on the team. He's on the team. That's all I know.
And then when you look at the picks, man, Jalen Carter, Georgia.
We lost Hargrave, but we got Jalen Carter coming in.
Yeah, this kid's gonna be a dog.
With Fletcher Cox mentoring,
right?
Come on.
You got Nolan Smith, also from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We're just stacking up that defensive side right there. Tyler Steen, I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. I hope I am. Offensive tackle, for a line that, was solid throughout the year.
Yeah.
Solid throughout the year. Didn't have a lot of injuries. And when we did, we played through it pretty well, schemed around it. But just adding that depth at such a distinguished offensive line.
Yeah, a position group that's already by far the best in the league.
Right.
I mean, we got Jason Kelsey coming back. Lane Johnson's coming back. They are both the best in the league at their position. Both of those guys. I'm excited, man. I mean, obviously.
Sidney Brown, safety from Illinois.
Okay.
Keely Ringo, I think that's how you say that. Another Georgia pick, cornerback from Georgia.
We got a lot of SEC guys on the team.
Yeah, I love the SEC.
Fletcher Cox, Devontae Smith. Where'd A.J. Brown go to school? I think he went to an SEC team.
I think A.J. Brown went to Alabama.
Okay.
I think.
Look, I'm going to confirm.
No, that's Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae did.
Where did A.J. Brown go? Georgia?
No, Mississippi.
Oh. Interesting.
Whatever.
Glad to have him back, though.
Yeah.
Then we picked up a quarterback in the 6th round. I don't think that was a mistake, though.
No, I mean, you need a quality backup. Hopefully, he can kind of be like a developmental guy.
Right.
And come in, 3 years from now, Jalen Hurts will go down, and we'll be watching him come in some Monday night game or something. So that'll keep that name in the back of your mind because at some point in time, I feel like we're going to see him play. What I want to talk about, though, Miles Sanders, gone. We let him go, which I understand. I love Miles Sanders, but I also know that running backs do not win championships, and there's no point to pay a running back. Every team who has an elite running back, what do they do in the playoffs if they make it?
I mean, and not to mention, we were we weren't necessarily running back by committee, but we had a strong depth chart at
we're damn
Boston
close.
Scott, Miles Sanders,
Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah. So it wasn't
we brought back both of those guys.
Yeah. So it wasn't like we really, we had talked about it. We both wanted to keep Miles Sanders, but
for sure. He's a dog.
If it didn't happen, it wasn't a huge loss.
But
no offense to Miles Sanders. I hope he goes and has a very
He's in
successful
Carolina
career
now.
at a different team, just not when he plays us. And, best of luck to him. But we're here to talk about Philly. And
funny little stat, our 3 running backs. So we have Gainwell and Boston Scott coming back. And then we also picked up DeAndre Swift from Detroit, who's also a dog. We're paying all 3 of those guys the equivalent to what Miles Sanders is being paid in Carolina.
No shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Running backs, there's no need to overpay for a running back.
We had one last draft pick, Moro Ojomo from Texas, another defensive tackle. So it looks like we added some talent.
Yeah.
It looks like we added some talent to
an already elite team.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's going to compete with them. People love to hop on the Niners bandwagon. People act like if Brock Purdy would have played that game in the NFC Championship game, they would have been in it.
I'm sorry. I think we dominate our conference again.
We do. And we dominated that game. People act like it wasn't fair because Purdy went out. How about you block for the guy? Right? We tore his ass up.
Not to mention, when you think about that game, we just kind of got out of there. We talked about it during the game. We were like, we're probably not going to hit some of the prop bets and parlays that we had placed because of that. They knew they were going to win. There was no point in us running it up by 30, 40. We wanted to, so we could hit our parlays. But from the perspective of like, we didn't, we kind of saw what was coming, especially after he got hurt quickly in the game. It was a no-brainer for us,
I mean,
just
and then
get out of there, get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then essentially like their 4th-string quarterback comes in, and we knock him out of the game too.
Right.
So don't act like it was to do with the quarterback. It had everything to do with our defensive line and our defense.
Yeah, we were getting
dominating that game.
Even if they had Brock Purdy, like, let's face it, your game might be closer. Who did he replace? Jimmy G?
Jimmy G, yep.
Let's face it, Jimmy G's playing. I'm still not worried. Not worried.
What's funny?
Our defense was playing immaculate at that point in the season.
Yeah, Jimmy G replaced Trey Lance, and then Purdy replaced Jimmy G.
So
every quarterback they had on the roster could not go.
So I personally, I don't like who's like, maybe Dallas gives us a run for our money.
I mean, sure, they'll be.
Commanders aren't doing it.
No, the Giants are not. The Giants are going to be worse.
They traded with us last year on a lucky play where Brandon Graham got called for an egregious late hit.
Are you talking about the Commanders?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Taylor Heineke's proudest moment of his life.
We would have gone undefeated if. Well, I think we lost 2 games. One came with our backup quarterback. That's the only game Jalen Hurts lost.
But I also think that probably would have been one of those like games that like we kind of like just at that point, it's like, all right, let's just get out of here. Try not to get anybody injured or anything.
Because that was a game, anything and everything went wrong that game.
Yeah.
Bad calls, bad turnovers.
Quez Watkins dropped that insanely long pass.
Remember he caught it?
I forgot.
Fell down, got back up.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Giants are going to backtrack. I mean, the Giants made the playoffs and people acted like they were a good team. They got smacked. What'd they do? They beat the Vikings. Oh no. Like, the Vikings the Vikings were frauds. Everyone knew it.
We showed them.
And then they got clapped. I can't remember who beat them. It might have been the Niners who played them. But they got clapped.
So it's just, it's funny to think about, like, just how far we came as a team. Like, nobody thought the Eagles were going to be that good.
No.
Then we were, and then everybody's like talking about, like, nobody gave credit to Jalen Hurts. So it's going to be interesting to see this year when we go back out. Jalen Hurts is still putting on amazing performances, playing. I mean, like, he just was super secure with the ball last year. He just, didn't make a lot of mistakes.
That fumble in the Super Bowl was an anomaly.
Yeah, that's not a true Jalen Hurts right there. And honestly, I don't even think it was like the pressure of the game.
No, it was just a fluke play.
Yeah, like, he's ready to play at that stage, and I think he's ready to go back again. And
he's a made man now too, man. He's got his money.
I'm gonna put this out there right now. Super Bowl again.
Champs this time.
Yeah,
run it back. 2017 vibes.
We're gonna be back there, and
we're gonna be in Philly this time.
Yeah,
watching the game at a Philly bar.
So it'll be interesting, but I think we're winning our conference for sure, easily.
13-4.
And then I'm gonna say we're gonna win the Super Bowl, but my prediction at the very least is we go back.
I want a Philly-Cincinnati Super Bowl.
That'd be nice.
That's what I want.
That's what I wanted last year.
Yeah, same.
I didn't want to play
we should have had
Mahomes.
it, but I'd love to beat the Bengals.
So yeah, I mean, I'd love to beat the Bengals. I didn't really want to play
Joey B.
I mean, it's just Patty Mahomes. I'm not a big Patty Mahomes fan anymore. It's really turned me off, and like, especially how he was like. And I get, it's a big game. You're excited you won the Super Bowl, but it was basically like you guys kind of just won on a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Like, come out and just be like, hey, like, incredible game on their part. Like, we played terrible. Like, just admit that you played awful.
Dude, that call, I promise you, if that flag does not get thrown, there is no Kansas City Chiefs fans saying that was a penalty. But since it was called, everyone, who's a Chiefs fan is defending it. That was not defensive holding. I'm sorry. But moving on from that, I'm looking forward to this season. huge news. Philadelphia Eagles throwbacks coming back this year. Kelly Green is back. Old school Flying Eagle is back. First time they've worn those uniforms since 2010, back when opening game of the season. Thank you. Opening game of the season, Kevin Cobb, starting quarterback, first year after McNabb had left the team. Kevin Cobb got the starting job. Michael Vick was the backup. Kevin Cobb gets a concussion. He's out for the game. Eagles are down like 21-0, something like that. Second half, Michael Vick comes in, almost brings us all the way back, but puts together an insane performance in the Kelly Green.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be a good year. And Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts in the Kelly Green.
Okay.
It's gonna look nasty
Hey, and we gotta get to a Philly game again this year.
for sure.
Post
in
it,
Philly.
Get some footage for the podcast. Us having a good time at the game and everything. This year I kind of want to go to a game in the link.
That's what I'm saying. In Philly.
Yeah.
We'll go to Geno's. We'll go to Pat's. Pat's is better than Geno's.
If we have to go to an away game, I'm fine with that too. But I'd rather go to a game at the link, especially after becoming a Philly fan.
It's not that far away.
Seeing how the fans are.
Mhm.
I know Philly gets a bad rap, but it just, for me, it was an amazing experience, and I'm proud to be an Eagles fan now. I can say that without a doubt.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna go to an Eagles game next year, and before we go, me and you are gonna sit down and watch Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what
We'll
we're gonna
see
do.
about
Not
that.
5. Maybe Balboa. We'll see.
We'll see about that, but definitely an Eagles game. We're looking forward to it. So you're predicting Super Bowl win
Of course.
next year, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna go with Super Bowl appearance. That's gonna be my prediction. I'm gonna go Super Bowl appearance.
I'm saying I can't.
I know it's hard to go against it, but
I'm sorry. If we make it to the Super Bowl though, after just making it this year and losing, no way we lose.
all right. Well, so big things for the Eagles. Some great draft picks. We really like what they've decided to do with the team. And got any final notes before we sign off here?
I'll say this. I'll give a prediction. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, both 1,000 yards receiving this year. Let's go.
What's the record?
Let's go.
What's the record?
I don't know. Guys have done it before. I'm pretty sure. Like
No,
the record.
wins,
I
loss.
said it earlier. 13-4.
13-4?
Yep.
I'd probably go with
More
that.
realistic. We're not going to go 15-1 again.
Yeah.
I think we were 14-1 at some point. 14-1, 15-1. Like that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
So
13-4. I can co-sign that.
that's one seed worthy.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we look forward to next season. Big things coming from Philly, and we are excited to see Jalen Hurts and the Kelly Green. Thanks for tuning in to the More to Us podcast. We'll check you guys later.